Have you ever asked yourself what makes a city great? Or the better question is, what makes a city? When you think of a city, the first thing that should pop in your head is the architecture, the buildings, the streets, all that, because that's what a city is. Without all that, it wouldn't be technically a city. The second thing should be the city's culture, from the food to the people to the language, because, coming from Massachusetts, we all have different language. You talk different, southern, northern. And the last thing that should immediately pop in your head is the history behind a city. Because if it's a city, it's been a city for a while, it has to have history. Some famous ones are Boston, New York, LA, San Francisco, Miami, Tampa, if you want to include Tampa, Seattle. So when you combine those three factors, that the perfect city that comes to mind is Boston. I'm not just saying that because I'm from there, but if you think about all the things I just said, history, architecture, and the culture, the richest one of them all that I can think of is Boston. You could say New York comes close, but to me, I think it's Boston because that's where everything that we have now, that's where it all started, was there in Boston. Without everything that happened there, from Revolutionary War, founding all that, without all that, we wouldn't be here, probably be speaking a different language. So when I think of architecture, history, culture, perfect state that pops in my head, it's Boston. And that's what makes a city great. Now, what exactly does Boston have that fulfills those three things? What architecture does it have that makes it great? What kind of culture does it have that makes it great? And what's the history behind it? And I'd love to tell you that. So to start, when it comes to the architecture of Boston, there's a bunch of stuff. You can go from Nathaniel Hall. My favorite one is Nathaniel Hall and Fenway. Of course, I'm a big baseball guy. Fenway has been around since 1912. It's the oldest ballpark standing. 1912 is over 100 years. So over 100 years, thousands of people each day went to this ballpark, and it's still standing. And as you know, the Red Sox are the main attendant of Fenway Park. They have been since 1912. But Fenway Park does host concerts. It hosts NHL hockey. It hosts college hockey. It hosts college football. So Fenway Park has seen a lot of history from what I just said: hockey, football, and of course baseball. Saw its first World Series in 2013, won on its fields since 1916, I think. Don't quite remember, but it's seen a lot of history. And in my case, as a Red Sox fan, it's seen a lot of bad history and good history. A piece of good history from way back when is it's honestly his 04 World Series breaking the curse. That's big history, coming back from 3-0 down in the series to beat the Yankees in 04. Winning that is crazy. Now, that series, it did see some crappy games, but in the World Series, saw a lot of great games too. And a lot of people always remember that. And Nathaniel Hall has been around since 1740. They don't know exactly when it was built. It's between 1740 and 1742. So in that span, it was built. And today, it stands as a marketplace. It has a museum, and it also has council chambers. I have been in it many times. It has a bunch of food, great little gift shops. It's a cool place. Lots of history. As I said, it's been around since the 18th century. So tons of history. When it comes to the culture of Boston, first thing that pops to your head is the people. People are by far the most diverse that you could ever think of. The infamous thing we do is we drop our R's, so ka, all that. Fenway Park, drop your R's, you got A, And then next to food, it's on the water, so seafood's a big thing up there. Lobster rolls, crab, lobster in general, and of course the Irish influence on it. All the buildings it's a lot of it's mom and pop stuff. Everyone knows each other because all the buildings have been there for years and years. And a lot of them are Irish, Italian, you have everything, mostly Irish. But it's just everyone knows each other. It's little shops. They look, around here we'd call them beat up, but that's where the best places to go in Boston is the place that look beat up. And the video I will show you, see exactly what I'm talking about. It has, this lady walks around the Irish part of Boston called Southie. It used to be very dangerous back in the day. Speaking of history, Southie was the roaming grounds of Whitey Bulger's infamous gangster. From self experience, my grandfather grew up with Whitey Bulger in the same neighborhood, so that's a quick little tidbit on Southie. It's good now, but here's the video. Quick minute, just to give you a nice little rehash of what it is. The Irish flag. That's what Southie looks like now. That's Broadway Street. See the little shops? That's exactly what Boston looks like. Little shops, nothing mainstream. So, it's a good little video. Lastly, found it, history of Boston, as I said, is huge. Founding fathers were there. The Freedom Trail, if you ever have a chance, go see it. Get to see what Samuel Adams is buried, Paul Revere, British coming, all that stuff. Boston has a very rich, the richest history-filled city, I think, in the entire United States. If it wasn't for Boston, I don't know what we'd be like. So, in the end, 3 things make up a great city: architecture, history, and culture. So, the one thing I can ask you is, out of those, taking those 3 things, could you see any other city that tops Boston with all those 3 things? Thank you. I know I don't have an audience behind me. I'm not trying to disobey your rules. I'm not making an excuse either. To live a busy life, I fully understand that I will get points taken off for not having an audience. The next one I will. This has been a rough week, so just do what I can. Submitted it, did my best. Thank you for listening. Everyone have a great day.